All right, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are back with more Lord of the Rings Online, the book quests. Last time we tackled Volume 3, Book 2, and so now we're going to be getting into Volume 3, Book 3. Volume 2, Book 2, I've got some leftover business here that was sort of like mop-up quests, like epilogues. Some of them I couldn't get into places I need to get into because I didn't have enough standing with the elves, and that's fine, so they're just going to sit there for now. I may never get to them, but we are ready for... Do we do book 2 or do we do book 3? I guess we're on book... I've sort of lost the thread a little bit. I just want to be careful because I don't want to jump the gun. Here we go.
I do not like this.
How has Nar come to know of our potential road? That Elrond advised his son to remember the paths of the dead, for we may have need to walk them. Was known to but a few. Let me just bump this up a little bit. Okay. And all of them trustworthy. Something's not right about this. It will not be long before we must set out again, but in the time before we do, we must learn what we can about Nar's recent activities. There may be some clue in them to reveal the source of his knowledge concerning our errand. Speak to Frithgeir about Nar. He proved helpful in returning his friend to clarity, short-lived though it was, and may help us again. So yeah, if you remember, Nar is sort of like this ancient dwarf here in the library that sort of, I don't know if he has visions or just sort of disconnects from reality or hallucinates, whatever it is. And so he was leading us down below the library, and it was successful, but yeah, he was having visions or talking in ways that was like not actually what was going on, but did hint that he knew about our Grey Company's journey here in the south in a way that might be a little disconcerting. I'm trying something a little, so I'm trying something a little different with the audio. Basically, it's sidechain ducking here in Lord of the Rings Online, so I hope it makes for a better audio experience with the game audio, but I don't know if it's going to make it more annoying as it goes up and down when I talk.
I'm sorry he upset you. Nar means no harm.
Frithgeir listens as you recount Cornir's request to know of Nar's recent activities. His brow creases in thought, and he is silent for a moment. When he speaks again, his words come slowly, as if he is unsure they will be of help. A few days before Wadu the Dunlanding came to Zudgudund, that's a sentence, I noticed Nar spending a great deal of time looking through some of the bookshelves for something. I thought it odd, because he generally takes little interest in the books and records here, but he did not speak of it, and I did not ask what drove his examination. I can tell you which section of the shelves it was, but there are a lot of books to go through. I don't know if that will be of any assistance, but you are welcome to seek a common thread if it may be of help to you and your friends. Look at the shelves to the southeast of here and around the illuminated statue. All right, let's take a look. I'm not going to read the whole poem, but basically we found some torn pages which seem to have undergone a great deal of use over the years. The words are very large, and every page has an illustration drawn in a fanciful style. It's about a little dwarf and orcs and an axe. You found a parchment, yellowed and old, tucked away between the covers of a thin book and apparently forgotten. This is Hail Thrain, King Under the Mountain. It's talking about preparations for leaving Coom. This one expresses concern about Nar. But it's basically saying, hey, Nar's not well, and I'd like to stay here to help him. he won't make it to the Blue Mountains. A slim book, Herbs and Plant Life of the Coombe, is resting atop several others as if it had been recently removed and carelessly returned to a shelf. Okay, so it's talking about plants that grow on the slopes of Thror's Coombe. Simply follow your nose is looking for a specific herb. When the herb is crushed and added to water containing the petals of the Nijam Mujdu and the fruit of the Kibble Luz, steeping in solution for an hour produces a strange-smelling brew that I have noted for its ability to provide clarity of thought and heightened reasoning. It does seem that its effectiveness dulls with repeated use, and the brew should therefore not be overused. Did it not give me credit for this one? Okay.
The longer it cooks, the tougher it will be.
Were you reading about plant lore? The first thing you need to remember, friend, is that the longer it cooks, the tougher it'll be. Let it taste the fire, but not for too long. Frithgeir, come tell Herluf what you said to me about the chops last night. I don't know where he is. Said they were the most tender he's tasted and washed them right down. Would have had more, he would, if I had thought to keep the fire going. Herbs, you say? Oh, yes. I seasoned them with a blend of herbs just to taste. Frithgeir knows a fair bit about the herbs and plants. Runs in the family, he says.
Hervin? He's around here somewhere.
Yeah, I saw a letter from Hervin. He's around here somewhere, I think. He was going to see off the wagons. Oh, there you are. All went well, I take it? Good. Pull over a chair and we'll sing a song of days gone by. When I was a boy, I knew the sounds of stone, and the hammers in the depths did ring.
Kari Orkur? That is one of Frithgeir's favorite stories. How did it go?
Kari was a little dwarf, smaller than you or me. Nar smiles happily, lost in his memories. After a moment, his brow creases. Everyone has gone away now. Fanar, Herluf, and even Hervin is gone. Travelers sometimes come by and share a friendly word, but it's been a while since the last. As quickly as the mood came upon him, it passes like a swift storm cloud. So we call him Kari Orkur.
You have brought the gemstones? Good. These will do very nicely.
He seems not to realize that you've brought no gemstones. This is going about as well as you expected. So let's talk to Cornier. So one of the things I want to see with the side chain ducking, whatever, is how long I give it until it goes back to full volume. Because because when I pause like that, is it making going up, 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 up? So I might need to extend that.
Nar's words remain as cloudy as ever. It was worth trying.
You should go to Candaith at the campsite of the Grey Company in a grove of trees east of Ukluth, the village of Lanuch, and tell him that we are no closer to learning why Nar spoke of the paths of the dead. Candaith is a master of lore, and he may have thought of something. I think this is right. We're way up there and we're heading, yeah. I'm always happy to see other players whip out and about here in town, in the game. Alright, let me, maybe I can get across. Just not sure which side of the river I want to be on. My fear, whatever. I think I want to be on the other side. Fellow Warden, hail sir.
The mystery of Nar's knowledge must remain unsolved for a time yet.
I think the music's too loud. Give me a sec here. Let me, didn't expect it to kick in quite so hard. We'll go with 60, I guess.
The mystery of Nar's knowledge must remain unsolved for a time yet.
You've spoken with the dwarf Nar again to no avail? I see. Will he not tell us how he knows of the words of Elrond? Will he not tell us how he knows of the path of the dead? It seems this mystery must remain unsolved for a time yet. Candaith sighs, thinking, do you know the story of the Oathbreakers and the paths of the dead? Perhaps a recounting of that tale is in order, and you will be more familiar with the puzzles set before us. Do you wish to hear it?
I will tell you the tale of the Oathbreakers and the paths of the dead.
After the destruction of Numenor in the Second Age, Elendil and his sons came to Middle-earth and knew they had to start anew or perish, and so the kingdoms of Arnor and Gondor were founded, Arnor in the north and Gondor in the south. At the hill of Eric in the kingdom of Gondor, Isildur set a great black stone that was brought out of Numenor before its downfall. It is said the stone stands there still, unchanged, even as it was in the later years of the Second Age. That is where and when our story begins. Man, this music is not messing around. Here's the problem, like, I don't always want the music to be that soft. It's just when it's blasting its synthwave epicness. Alright, Chapter 2. In the Second Age, the men of the mountain swear an oath at the Stone of Eric to fight the forces of Sauron, but when they break their promise, Isildur levies a curse against them. They will never know rest until they fulfill their oath. So if you know the books or the movies,
The men of the mountains sought to escape their curse, but to no avail.
then you're very familiar with this part of the story. The men of the mountain sought to escape their curse, fleeing back to their mountain homes, but no word of man relates what became of them in the years since. It is said a shadow lies now on Erech, where they broke their oath, and none now take the dim Holt road that ran through their gates and into their mountain home. The Rohirrim named that peak Dwimmelberg, Haunted Mountain, and the passages beneath are now known as the Paths of the Dead. None would take that road, but Elrond bid his sons remember it, and that leads me to worry. I know it lies heavily upon Halbarad's mind. And yet Nar knows something of it as well. Have we been watched without our knowledge? But how can that be?
We must not tarry overlong, but I am worried about Nona.
You know, I was a little worried that this was going to be one of those flashbacks. Let me see if we avoid that. These worries endanger our haste. We must not tarry over long, but I would not forget the pains of those we have encountered along the way. The Uk-Luth girl who helped us as we came to Lanuk, Nona. She has lost her brother Wadu, ambushed by a hostile Dunland clan, and she must be feeling the grief most keenly. Please go to her in the northeast corner of Lunak and lend whatever comfort you can. I do not want the Great Company to wear blinders like those Ereberandir wore in his youth before he was befriended by Cyrodion. We must be aware of the hurts happening around us and do what we can to help. So I think one of the quests on our chain here so we've got a book 3 and a book 4. I'm going to take this one off the books. Just want to make sure we're focusing on book 3. It's like a lightning storm off in the distance.
Coronir is right. This delay has been costly.
Right, so this is book 4, chapter 1. We don't want that.
Do not be concerned for me. I am proud of the warrior Wadu became.
What is it you want? Nona laughs, a harsh and humorless sound. Concern? Do not be concerned for me. I was lost after the death of my brother, but that was before I learned of the glory he had attained before his death. Those who slew him a right to do so from hiding. They must have been able to sense that he had become a great warrior and would have bested them. There was a tree Wadu loved, atop a rise by the ox pens west of Lanuk. I left his sword there to honor his memory, but I think he would rather I use it to attain even half the glory with it he did. Go to the tree and bring me the sword. All right, let's take a look and see where that is. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's go take care of that. Halbarad, sir, we will be back.
Thank you for bringing me my brother's sword. I will use it in his memory.
It was a sword of Rohan, true, but to my eyes it is no longer the weapon of my people's ancient enemies. It is now my brother's sword, the sword with which he slew the mightiest Gwibber anyone has ever seen, and I will use it in his memory. Nona nods sternly and looks around at the huts of Lanok. I have a request, Black Lodge. Go to the leader of your company, the man called Halbarad, who has spoken at length with Glyn Brennan, and tell him that I will go with your people when they leave Lanok. It is my desire to avenge the death of my brother of the enemies of the Uk-Luth and on the wizard Sauron, and our road lies together for a little while. Your man Halbarad is in Lanok, is he not? Yeah, he's literally right there. You are looking right at him. Right there. All right.
Coronir is right. This delay has been costly.
No, I want the other one.
Coronir is right. This delay has been costly.
So my fear is that I'm it's not recognizing that I want the other quest. And then I gotta
Coronir
actually...
is right. This delay has been costly. There are two paths we might take into Dunland.
Yep, I don't care about that.
Speak with Prestadir and Bragiar. There are two paths we might take into Dunland. Speak with Prestadir and Bragiar.
Man, can I cancel this one? Can I just cancel book 4 entirely? I might need to do that. Yeah, no, I don't... Oh, my goodness. Well, this might be a short session because the questing's broken. Yeah, he's too close, I know. I'm just trying to get him to... I'm not sure what to do. Let me, log out. Maybe log back in. I can't tell if this music is different. Like, does it matter where I am in the game? Is this more... I don't know. And last time, okay, I was going to say last time when I first tried, before I started recording, it actually crashed there. Okay, so now he's just gone. So here's what I'm going to do. Or was I just talking to the wrong instance of him? Okay.
Absolutely not. This I must refuse.
What is that? The Uk-Luth woman has a request. Halbarad listens as you recount Nona's desire to travel with the Grey Company, but his response is quick and unyielding. No, absolutely not. This I must refuse. This is not open for debate. Halbarad shakes his head. But there is something urgent, Black Lodge. Roddenir found something.
Roddenir found this letter stuck into a nearby tree with a knife.
We might be in trouble. This is a fellowship quest. It's required for the book. It says he found this letter stuck into a nearby tree with a knife. It's addressed to the Rangers. And, well, I've left it on that crate there. Read it and tell me what you think it means. Yeah, this could be interesting. To the Rangers. I am a man of Gondor, a friend of the elves, and of all good folk. Call me Ergothorn. I see the danger growing in the east and wish to oppose it. Lew Brennan dispatched a messenger from Tur Morva and Dunland, but the messenger was beset by foes outside Laid Ogo in the Lick Bluffs, and was dragged within. If yet he lives, he will have information for you. I cannot reveal myself to you, but trust that I am a friend. I will contact you again when it is safe to do so. Ergothorn. Alright, let's get rid of these. Again, it's my obsessive-compulsive need to not have icons up that I'm not looking to deal with. Okay, let's talk to Halbarad again.
Is this Ergothorn a friend? Why will he not show his face?
Okay, I'm glad they... Okay. I do not like this, Black Lodge, and yet, if he's telling the truth... We need to know, Black Lodge. Gather allies you can trust and go to Laid Orgo, far to the south of here on the right side of the road through the Lick Bluffs. It may be that a messenger from the south is in trouble, and if so, we could use the information he brings. But keep your eyes open. I will not trust Ergothorn without proof. It may be a trap. Okay, so it's meant for a fellowship, but they're going to give me the bonus. I guess I was just worried that they weren't... I don't know why they wouldn't give me the bonus. They always do, but I was just nervous it didn't mention it. So I was like, uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Find the entrance. Loving the weather sound design. I'm loving the weather effects in the sky. I don't know if other areas do. Clouds, lightning storms, changing weather like that. But yeah, we're just going to follow this road south until we get to our destination. Okay. I think that's some kind of like exploration deed. I know I've said before in the past that like, oh, you know, I need to start doing deeds and blah, blah, blah. Like there was one time when I needed to level to get up to the, I don't know when it was. It was a couple sessions ago. I need to get from 60 to 65, and there was a little bit before that. I started focusing a little bit on deeds with this character just to... And it was a big reason why I think my morale was so low, relatively speaking. So I'm here. At some point, I do need to figure that out. Find the entrance to Laid Orgo in the Lick Bluffs. Let's see if I can get up to that tent. Maybe that's at least a camp. There are signs of a struggle outside the entrance to Laid Orgo. Is this it? Oh, this might be it. Okay.
Can the words of Ergothorn be trusted? If so, a messenger from Dunland must be somewhere in the depths of Laid Orgo, hurt and afraid.
Oh, lied. Okay, so that's nice to get pronunciation. Getting some delay in the, found a partially eaten rat. Who was eating it, and why didn't they finish? Again, I always liked the sort of barrowed down, so this is giving off good vibes in that sense. Again, delay there is getting my gambits a little off. I mean, it's partly my fault because I'm just assuming, like, you know, you sort of internalize the timing. And I'm not actually waiting for it to register, I'm just sort of doing the timing I'm used to. But I do like me some barrowed down, so this is good. The earth on this slope has been disturbed as if something heavy was dragged up it. So should I be going up? Alright, stack 3 bleeds, that'll finish this guy off. It's almost like there's no other way to go. found the deepest chamber. Oops, all over the place. Who are you? I need to see Brennan at Lanark. You assure him that you will bring him to Glyn Brennan at once? This great beast attacked me as I was passing the entrance to this cave, and I could not get away. Thank you for saving me. It is fortunate you were passing by, and so far from habitation. I bring a message from Lou Brennan of Tur Morva in the south. He urges Glyn Brennan not to believe the lies of the wizard Saruman. The wizard has sent agents to the Brennan to try and buy his loyalty, and he is worried that other clans may have accepted these authors. The Ukluth have not done so? Oh, good fortune. You must bring me to Lanark at once. We should leave at once. My leg is still hurt, but if I lean on you, I can make it. Because I'm never satisfied, I've been looking at audio interfaces recently and wondering, do they really make a difference? Like, is it worth, like, I've often looked at audio interfaces like, how can I integrate it with two computers and do this and do that? And, like, can it have sliders and can it also do all these things aside from the audio? And sometimes I'm wondering, what if I just got one that's really good at the audio? Would that help me get any better quality? Is it just diminishing returns at some point? Is it my own inabilities that are the problem, not my my equipment? I just never know. And so I was sort of, maybe I'm going in here. I was looking at the like an Antelope quad core synergy. I don't know what it is. It would do a couple things. Part of it's aspirational.
This news gives me hope. We have some allies still.
And Niran has given me the message from Lou Brennan of Tur Morva, and it fills me with joy, for it means that the Ukluth do not stand alone against the wizard Saruman. We have some few allies still, and that gives me hope.
My Brehur and Brehuris will decide what must be done.
My Brehur and Brehuris have heard the messenger Aniran's words. They will decide what must be done in the matter of Saruman. Speak with them and hear what they have to say. They will wish to know the events that led you to find this stray messenger, as well, so leave nothing out. They will decide, too, what course of action to recommend to your people. Once you've heard my Brehur and Brehuris, bring their advice to your leader Halbarad. He and I have spoken already on this, and their counsel will complete the argument. Okay. Yeah, and it's just one of those things like, the Antelope Quad, whatever, it does a couple things. One, it allows me to connect two computers to it, which is one thing I'm always, sort of a minimum requirement, which jams me up a lot of the time. It makes a lot of things not work.
Are all Duvodiads so trusting?
How do you know this man, Ergothorn, is a friend? You know nothing about him beyond what he wishes to tell you, and that not even in person. I say he, but you know not even that. Ergothorn could be a woman, and that could be the least of her deceptions. Matters not to me that the messenger Aniran was found where Ergothorn said he would be. One truth is nothing. Talk to Brehur.
I spoke against the promises of Saruman for many days.
That was the course of wisdom. How few of the clans listened to my advice? Too few. But Aniran brings us hope from Dunland. He will return to Tur Morva with word that Lanark also stands against Saruman. Let that strengthen our cousin's resolve. Okay. Who's this? Emissary of Isengard.
The road through Dunland will not be safe for you, no matter the words of Anirin.
Your people, these rangers, are Duvodiad. And unlike others Duvodiad, I don't know how to say that. But unlike others I have seen, This man Halbarad reminds me of Glyn Brennan, stern, willing to listen to the advice of others, but given to decisive action when it's necessary. Know that the road through Dunland will not be safe for you. It's good that Lou Brennan stands against the wizard Saruman, but there are other clans in Dunland that do not have leaders as strong. And for them, the promises of the wizard may be hard to refuse. Tell your people to be wary on the road south.
If Tuor Morva still stands against the wizard, we must remain strong as well.
I am pleased by Aniran's message from Lou Brennan. If Tuor Morva still stands against the wizard, we must remain strong in our resolve as well. It's good to know some of our brothers in Dunland have not believed the promises of Saruman. We are not without friends, as was my worry. Okay, let's go talk to Halbarad. We've gotten the advice that we need, or we can get. Yeah, and so it gives me an opportunity to like plug it to two computers, which again is something I'm always interested in. Not interested, it's a requirement because of my stupid setup. And I wonder if I would need that. Yeah, I might still need that. Suddenly I start thinking, but how could I get around it if I did X or Y or Z? But it's a safe thing. The other thing it would let me do, this is the aspirational part. It has enough inputs that if, sometimes Matt and Patrick and I, we talk about, could we ever get together in person? And while it seems extremely unlikely a lot of the time, this device would allow me to record all three of us at once. It's something I don't have at the moment.
When we depart for Dunland, we cannot let our caution wane.
I understand the concerns of the Brehur and Brehuris, Black Lodge. They are fair points. When we depart for Dunland, we cannot let our caution wane for even an instant. The business with Urgothorn's letter drove from my mind the request of the Dunlanding girl. Go now to Nona and tell her that I cannot allow her to travel with the Grey Company. She is here in Lanok, and here she will stay. But it also has the Antelope, it has a lot of interesting plugins. It's not just tweak the software to get a EQ or compressor. It's got like high-end plugins that I think get saved to the device, so it's so it's not like I need my computer doing something extra. It's on the device built in, which is something also that I like.
Your leader Halbarad does not know what he says.
When the device itself is the DSP that stores the settings, so it works across multiple devices. Let's see, your leader Halbarad does not know what he says. Too dangerous? He's a fool if he thinks I cannot stand with the best man in his company. A fool, then. We will see who has the greater glory when the tally of battle is finished. It will be Nona of the Ukluth, sister to Wadu, Wyber Slayer.
All men are fools.
Your leader Halbarad is a fool for refusing my request. The Brehur are fools for delaying so long in action against our enemies, and my father Savulk is a fool as well. He has been avoiding me since Wadu died. Do you know what I think? I think he's ashamed to show his face for his cruel treatment of Wadu while he still lived. He should feel that shame. It is his alone. He should have been kinder to his son while Wadu lived. You find him and tell him so. Now, I think he's over by the sword I picked up earlier. Anyway, so yeah, that was... But I don't know if it would actually give me better audio. The Antelope. I don't know if it's just a fool's errand. It's really good hardware, and you're paying money. When you buy a device, right now I have a Roland Bridgecast X. It's not inexpensive, but it also does 4 different things. It's got the audio, but it's also an HDMI switcher, and at some point, if I wonder, if you spent money on a device that does the one thing, and according to the reviews, does the one thing really well, do you get something for that? And I honestly don't know.
What do you have to say to me, Devodiad?
Devodiad, okay. I'm not going to remember that pronunciation, but it's good to hear it. Savulk listens impatiently as you recount Nona's words to him about Wadu. You cannot speak to me on this matter, and neither can my daughter. Only one language will we speak, the language of battle. You and I will fight hostile Dunlandings of other clans, Duvodiad, and we will measure which of us has the authority to judge the other. Do not return until you've slain many of our enemies. Okay, so how many are we going to do? Let me just check back in town here. There's like a flaming ring, so I'm wondering if that's Nona and if that's part of this quest right now, or if it's something I'm going to come back to later. That might be okay. Anyway, because then, like, you know, you lose, like, the Bridgecast doing the virtual devices, but I also have stream decks that could manage virtual channels, and then again, that's another thing, like, do I need a device that also does virtual channels, or can I just get something that's an audio device that does the one thing? I'm gonna go south. And like I said, you get like these really good audio plugins, like, you know, like EQs and compressors that, you know, are sort of electronic versions, I guess, of like vintage hardware that audio engineers really like. Again, would I even be able to make use of any of that? My gut tells me no. And at the end of the day, what I really need is just preamps that are as clean as possible. And, oh, and that's the other thing, like you know, because again, like when you're paying for like an all-in-one device, are you actually getting like as clean a preamp as you can get? Or is it, you know, is it a little sloppy? You know, when I had the Rode Procaster, they were supposed to have pretty clean preamps, and I guess it did, but it also had a lot of, you know, slightly obtuse audio knobs that, you know, it's for somebody who knows what they're doing. I couldn't figure it out, but so I don't know what the right answer is. The right answer is to just be content and stop fussing around. But you know, when I say, like, you know, a lot of what I'm doing here is to try and learn. This is the stuff I come back to and think about and wonder and research, even though it's not necessary or important. So now I'm curious, like, can I just keep killing here, or did I have to actually travel the world? So let me just keep killing. You know, no matter the device, I still can't quite come to terms with how my SM7B sounds. Even though I feel like I've gotten... There are times when I feel like I've gotten better, and times when I feel like it's either the same or worse, and, you know, none of it really matters. Okay, so it's saying just kill a bunch and then return when I'm satisfied. Yeah, so sometimes I need to use my usually obviously I'm on a PC when I'm doing this. I don't have a 2PC streaming setup. I have a lot of trouble with Riverside on PC, so when we record the sessions, I'm doing stuff on a Mac, and then so I need my microphone to go back and forth between the Mac and the PC pretty seamlessly. And so that's why I'm like, oh, like if it can connect to two devices, that's great, but that's not a common thing. The Roland Bridgecast X does, but the Bridgecast does not, I believe. The Lewitt Connect 6 does, but the Lewitt, whatever the Connect Duo or whatever the smaller one does not. The Rode Procaster 2 does, but only if the device is another computer, but not a PlayStation. So it just gets like, oh my god, like I just, although getting to connect to the PlayStation is getting less and less important. I think that's enough. I can't remember the last time I played anything on a PlayStation, and I would only need it if I was playing something in co-op. If I was going to stream something, I would just, I'd be recording it here through OBS or vMix or whatever, and then, so I don't need it in that case. So that's getting less and less important. So sometimes I wonder, is this two-device thing really actually important, or could I get around that somehow? Like, I definitely need something that's going to bring audio in from multiple systems, but I could send everything HDMI into a monitor and then speaker out a cable from that monitor into like a line-in adapter into XLR. Like, there's ways to do it that are not complicated. It's just the one thing is that I need to also sometimes stream over Zoom. I need to screen share my screen over Zoom when I'm video editing, and that requires a little bit of finagling. It all gets a little weird. Like, I'm very grateful that I can still, work remotely, so I don't want to be like, ugh, I can't believe I got to accommodate that. Like, I'm very grateful for that. And if it ever went away, I guess it would simplify things, but, and it's not that I have to do it very often, but I want to be able to do it. Like, if somebody says, hey, can we just do this right now? I'd be like, I want to have it ready to go. I don't want to be like, yeah, no, sorry. But I guess I could join the Zoom from my PC with my microphone, and then also join the Zoom from my work laptop. It gets complicated. But as long as you have the workflow, that's you just work it out. And also to be fair, that's also some of the fun. Researching all this.
How many hostile Dunlandings have you slain?
My count is higher, yet it does not matter, for we have done this for the memory of my son. Let his enemies rue the day they slew him from ambush and caused us to notice the stink of them. Shortly after I returned from battle, one of your rangers spoke with me. He said his name was Radonir, and he wanted to speak with you. You should find him and see what he wants of you. He said he would be at the Duvodiad camp among the trees to the east of my village. Thank you for the competition, Black Lodge. It's not enough to answer for my son's life, but maybe it is something. And half the time, the reason why I'm unhappy with my audio is my voice gets shot immediately. Which is actually happening right now for some reason. I gotta ask my doctor. not a young man anymore, I feel like I should be able to say, hey, what's going on? Like, why do you think this is? And what can I do? Whoa, level 148. And then again, I keep like watching YouTube videos and researching stuff, and I feel like I'm hearing audio quality out of SM7Bs from people that I just never can achieve, and I don't know how much of that is just my voice.
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
We have received another letter from Urgathorn. I left it on the crate there. If he speaks the truth, we have little time to waste. To the Rangers, I do not have much time to write this. I beg you to move with all possible haste. A group of Uruks have come out of Dunland, but instead of passing further north as others have done, these have begun the climb to Thror's Coombe. I fear they have orders involving the dwarves that still live there, especially the one called Nar. You must defend this dwarf from the Uruks. He knows much that told to the wrong person could be hurtful to your errand.
If these Uruks sees Nar, he could tell them of our errand.
If we can believe the words of Urgathorn, a party of Uruks marches towards Zudrugund. If they seize Nar, he could tell them of our errand. Or he could tell them nonsense, but I think we have no choice. We have to do something in case Urgathorn is right.
We have to leave at once.
Okay, it's another fellowship quest. Where are we? But yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, like, do the audio interfaces actually, is there that much of a difference? Yeah, so I guess I was wondering where I am, because do I ride it up, or I think my recall. Oh, shoot. How do I cancel?
We will travel to Zudrugund together.
Okay, I didn't need to do that.
Once more, we put our trust in Urgathorn and travel with utmost haste to Zudrugund. Will we find there a band of Uruks, as he says, or a time-wasting detour?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I popped a cough drop. We are here and not much behind the Uruks, if that is their foul stench I sense on the air. The other rangers who came here with us will approach from the other slope, and we will rejoin them when they have scouted the heights. For now, let us continue and defeat whatever Uruks have stayed behind to defend their way back down the mountain. If these Uruks are like the others I have seen, some will be stationed between us and the summit. It is as I said, to battle. You've done well, but do not let down your guard. And again, like all these things, like there's basically no challenge. Who is there? I can hear you sneaking about. I'm gonna triple up the bleeds and see if okay, I'm just gonna go help this guy out and see if the bleeds can do some damage. That's all of them. Make your way further up the mountain and find Candaith on the way. What do you think the boss wants with him? Here we go. There. Uruks further up the mountain. I've heard some of their talk, and they call themselves Grishguk. Their leader is called Nurzumgrat, and it sounds like he has come to the summit. We must fight through these Uruks, Black Lodge. From above. There's a great troll ahead. Keep climbing the path and defeat it. That's what I was trying to avoid. I wonder if I have a, Again, if I knew how to play my class, I think I could switch to a ranged... Can't tell if that's doing... I mean, I think it is saying, if you're looking at my gambits, it's saying ranged boost, boot, ranged onslaught, ranged wall of steel. I think it put a bleed on him. All right. That did it. The bridge is ours. Black Lodge, this way. The Uruks are at the summit. We have to do something and quickly. This way to Zudragund. Uh-oh. Unless you want the same as that fool ranger, you'll tell us where Nar is. I told you I don't know where he is. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Ah, more rangers to slay. What a pleasing day this has become. not, so it's not letting me target. Well, let me do it. Invalid targets. Not liking seeing Candaith down. If this is to be my end, I will finish as many of you rats as I can. Haha, I am ready. Pray to God I'm not too early. That is how you slay an Uruk. But where is Thrain? Who would want the honor of defeating the leader of this band, and it was wrong of us to deprive him of it. Uh-oh. I will be well enough after a short rest, Black Lodge. Help me to my feet and inside Zudragund. Oh. Something is weird. Okay. Like, I didn't click on anything to advance it like that, so I'm not sure why it jumped ahead.
Once again, Ergathorn has saved us a great deal of trouble.
I am pleased that you came to the defense of Zudragund. Once again, Ergathorn has saved us a great deal of trouble. Why do I not feel more relieved by this?
Before the attack, Nar became very agitated, and no words would calm him.
Okay, before the attack, Nar became very excited, and no amount of calming words from Frithgeir could settle him. He moved from shelf to shelf in a certain section of the library, and in his agitated state, I could not even get his attention. I will point out to you to the shelves. Perhaps this time you will find some relevant information that will help us get to the bottom of this mysterious dwarf. The shelves are on the upper level, on the north side of the library. I think the only way up is... Obviously I'm wrong. There's got to be another way up. Okay, you found some pages which have been hastily torn from a larger volume. Perhaps a diary of recorded or record of events, and seem to only be a few years old. Let's see. So somebody's jotting down. So surprisingly cold for March. Our friend the ranger came by again today, and we spoke for a time about the situation in the north. His chief is on some errand to Mirkwood, but it seems to me that Tugon knows a little of it as well. Nar has been in high spirits lately. I think he likes receiving visitors, though he does not always recognize them for who they are. Still, it seems to me he enjoys the company. He does spend a great deal of time in the mine. I only accompany him occasionally, but there are only so many times I can see Thror's stone house standing empty before the melancholy is too much. Nar sees it as it was, I think, so I'm content to let him visit it by himself. These periods give me time to write in my book, which is fine by this dwarf. I think tomorrow I'll walk down to the coombe and see about picking more of the herbs I've read about. Perhaps I will make this brew after all. It'll be nice to have Nar to talk to again. Alright, in the last month, a great number of supports have fallen, giving rise to much concern among the dwarves who have stalls in Zigil Jabal. A dozen of our stone masons were directed to repair the supports, and trade should resume shortly. With these stone masons went several wagons of material, chiefly unearthed stone, but also a number of fine gems, a gift to the dwarves of Keshel. We will see how hotly burn their forges, and if they can work the gemstones into their craft as well as we are able. Judging from the state of the next page, it is even older and only a few words can still be read. Time we lost one of our own to the forbidden halls. They should seal it away and forget it was ever delved. But the beast returned that night, and the walls around shook with the sound of its fury. The doors were barred, but the bars bent with each mighty crash of the creature's bulk, and cracks began to appear along their lengths. "We must return its youngling," cried Silur over the din, and he leapt forward, knocking aside the warriors that braced the door with their bodies. The first bar gone, and then the second. "No, Silur!" they shouted, but it was too late. The third bar fell to the floor, and Silur threw open the door. Old Stonetooth was through the doorway in seconds. Silur was trampled underfoot, and along with many good dwarves that spoke against the capture of Pebblewart. It availed them nothing in the end. Stonetooth thundered down the length of the hall, braying for her young, and then an answering bleat. It drew her down side passages and steep stairways, the flagstones cracking beneath her great weight. The dwarves freed Pebblewart from his cage, and many of them ran. Those that witnessed the reunion of mother and child did not survive to tell of it. But the next day, when the dwarves ventured back to those broken halls, all was empty. Old Stonetooth and Pebblewart were never seen in those caves again, and none know where they went. But it is still said today, when the earth shakes, that Pebblewart is running beneath the mountains, expressing joy at his freedom, carving great channels in the walls of the deepest caves with his golden horn.
What's that? They have need of more stonemasons at Zigil Jabal?
It seems every week they ask for more. Nar shakes his head and his face is suddenly mournful. There are few enough stonemasons here to repair our own hold. I cannot remember the last time I saw one. The last time. Nar's brow furrows in thought, and he speaks no more.
Tugon? He is a ranger, you know. He comes to visit us from time to time.
Talks to Frithgear when he talks, which is seldom. He does not eat with us, which I found curious. I've not seen him lately. Hervin! Have you seen Tugon lately? Hervin? Nar sighs and strokes his beard. Has Hervin met Tugon? I can't say I remember. I think he must have, but I cannot picture it. That's strange. Why do you ask about Tugon? Not many rangers in these lands.
What made you think I would be interested in myths and fairy stories?
There's work to be done. What made you think I'd be interested in myths and fairy stories?
Oh, that was quite a battle, was it not?
It's been a long time since Uruks dared to show their faces here. I must tell Thror when he comes back.
I do not know what interest Nar could have in these topics.
A list of repairs at a dwarf hold in the White Mountains, a page from Frithgear's journal, and the story of some beast, likely more tale than true. I can think of no common thread to tie these together, just as I could not the last time we tried to make sense of the dwarf's curious behavior. Return to Halbarad and tell him that, for now, Zudragund is safe from the Uruks. You should be able to find him among the huts on the western side of Lanuk. All right, well, let's go check in with Halbarad. There's no quick way, I guess, to get back. Obviously, I can shorten. I could click the button there and spend a mithril coin. I could snap some femurs to make getting down the hill a little quicker, I guess. This part, do I go up to go down? Is that the idea? Last time I just sort of YOLO'd off the side of the cliff, and part of me wanted to recall what the actual correct way was to do that. Or maybe the correct way is you snap legs, baby. Yeah, I was saying, like, I don't know what's going on with my voice. I feel like it's different things different days. I feel like I've got, like, some of that GERD going. I feel like, it's springtime. Is it pollen? Is it, the fact that I rode on the subway very recently? Not the subway. Well, the subway too, but the trains into the city for the first time in a while, and I was probably sitting in a cesspool of virulent humanity. I don't know. Who can say? But I will say it's very annoying. Although, for the people on the other end of this, it's probably, oh, thank God, why won't his voice just die once and for all, and then we can end this, this charade. For the record, I usually say charade, but I wanted to class it up a little bit.
I have bad news. We have found Ergathorn. He is dead.
Oof. All right.
One of the scouts of the Okluth found Ergathorn's body this morning.
Hidden behind a fall of rocks on the southern edge of the Kum. I think he was ambushed from hiding, as Wadu was, though it is strange he was not slain by sword, arrow, or bolt. He was killed by hand, the life choked out of him. For now, his body is being kept in the Hall of Making to the northeast. You should examine Ergathorn's body to see if we can learn anything more of his fate. His fate. Okluth. Okay, so I guess you put the accent on the second part, which makes it flow a lot more than Ukluth. I was doing a little more Klingon, I guess, in my interpretation. So I guess it's one of these two. Well, let's get off. Figure it out. Nope. I'm just curious what this guy says, because this guy is an emissary of Isengard. He's offering a pact. Okay, I was kind of curious to see what that sub-chain would be like. Obviously, it's nefarious. There we go. You know, before I talk to you and examine your body, let me...
You are ill-equipped to venture into these lands.
Let me hit up the Wawa and just take care of some commerce. See, the map to Breland. Oh yeah, I probably needed that to bounce around a little more easily early on and just didn't know about it. Okay. Forgot what half this stuff is, but I'm sure most of it can go. This was some stuff like I was trying to, I think, stick in my house and I didn't quite figure it out. Yeah, I think these maps were supposed to help me maybe convince the rangers, help me to get around faster. I'm gonna hold on to it. I don't know what that is. I'll hold on to it for now. Heraldry of the Owl, Saka type heraldic tracery. So I feel like this is something I'm not... Okay, let me bring up my character. That's a class slot. Nope, I can't do it here. Okay, so I gotta figure that out. 245, okay. So we're done shopping. Let's see if we can figure out this heraldry. If I can even see it. There it is, okay. No, okay. Cannot be used on that target. Those are shields, ranged. Class slot, can they go there? No. Oh well. Well, I won't worry about it now, but it feels like... Enhance character, what does that even mean? Oh, I see. Alright. I'll hold on to that heraldry, because maybe at some point I'll Google it, or I'll uncover how it works. Like a lot of the game, I still don't know what I'm doing. The corpse of Ergathorn. It's as Halbarad described. The man is wearing armor of Gondor and has no sword wounds on his body, but he is dead. You notice a scrap of parchment clutched in one hand, which you pry loose and read, "To the Rangers." The dwarf has already told your foe much, and I fear that it will be enough to endanger not just your errand, but the delicate situation in Dunland as well. Things are not as he thought they were, but they soon will be. He has been slowed by his uncertainty concerning the errand of your company, but not stopped. They who swore the oath to Isildur at Eric, you know of them and of their home beneath Dwimmerberg. Nailed it in 3. But you do not know that some number of them sought to flee their curse and came to hide in a place called the Forsaken Road, among the Lick Bluffs. If they could be made to fulfill their oath to your chieftain's forebear, all might not be lost. Not all remember the old ways, but I do. For Ithil that was lost, and for all else that was forgotten, I remain Urgothorn.
He was unable to deliver that letter in life. He has done so in death.
I know not who set upon him in the wilderness far from safety, but I believe it is the foe of which he speaks or an agent of that enemy. I believe now that Urgothorn's enemy is our enemy as well. But now, at last, it becomes clear. Whoever killed Urgothorn can move stealthily and strike without warning, but chooses to use neither sword nor bow. If this mysterious foe can move without the knowledge of his... Oh my goodness. Let me just make sure let's get a little bit bigger. If this mysterious foe can move about without the knowledge of his prey, he may have overheard our conversations. If he too speaks with Nar, that could be the source of the dwarf's information, but twisted into a form unbeknownst to Nar himself. And it all comes back to the Oathbreakers. Is Urgothorn right? Could they be compelled to fulfill their oath? If we can learn that it is possible within the Forsaken Road, that will be a great boon for Aragorn. Speak to Radnir at our campsite in the grove of trees east of La Nook. Tell him that I want this investigated. Apparently when my voice is getting weird, so does my literacy. That was a mouthful and a mess.
Alberon's wishes are my own as well.
Alright, we're gonna walk the Forsaken Road, baby.
We must learn if Aragorn can compel the Oathbreakers to fulfill their oath.
Okay, it's gonna be another fellowship quest where you get the bump. If Urgothorn is right, a number of Oathbreakers fled from the Dwimmerberg after Isildur cursed them and left Gondor. They traveled through the trackless wilderness, seeking to escape the curse, and came at last to the Lick Bluffs. Did they find what they sought? Or did they come to realize there was no escaping their curse? I do not know. But if we can find the Forsaken Road where this group finally remained, we may learn something to our advantage. We may learn if Aragorn can compel them to fulfill their oath. I have spoken with Rod, the scout who found Thorn's body. He knows where the entrance to the Forsaken Road is, and will show us the way. Talk to me when you're ready, and I will assemble a group of rangers to investigate.
Are you ready to depart for the Forsaken Road?
Many of my brethren have volunteered to come with us. They are eager to find some information that will aid Aragorn, especially to see if there is some secret by which he can compel the Oathbreakers to fulfill their oath.
We have come to walk the Forsaken Road, where a group of Oathbreakers sought to escape their curse. Is it possible that Aragorn might compel them to fulfill their oath? We seek to learn if it is so.
I mean, part of it is that I'm trying to read quickly, right? I don't want to be like slow and read and boring. So I'm trying to get through the text quickly. That's part of it. I'm trying to say it as quickly as I might actually read it. That's the problem. I'm stumbling, my mouth is stumbling when my eyes keep going. This is an evil place, Black Lodge, and the dread of it lies like a cloud upon my limbs, and so cold. I should think I would never be warm again. This is a place of the dead, kept by them throughout the long years. Will they rally to Aragorn's cause? We must learn if it be so. And it's also like clumsy. Stay alert. We do not know what we will find along the Forsaken Road. The men we seek must labor still under Isildur's curse. What ceaseless toil their cowardice has given them. Hold, there's a presence here. Also, it's they're sort of like trying to be fancy Middle English kind of forsooth, forsaken. So it creates for some, like, awkward by today's standards phrasing. Show yourself. Alright, talk to Mjolnir? Who dares disturb this place? Who dares venture where only the dead may walk? The living may not pass. This road is not for you. Turn back while you still have the power to do so. Only the dead may walk this forsaken road. Come, my brothers, come see these wayward children. Ooh. Who dares disturb the restless dead? I dare. Whoa, hey, Halbarad. And what is that to us? Why should the dead care who you are? Why? Because my chieftain is the heir of him to whom you took your oath. No. Let's turn that off for now. Stay on your guard, Black Lodge. These men are without honor. We are here to listen to their words, but we must remain cautious. Do you acknowledge the right of Isildur's heir to hold you to your oath? You have not been judged worthy of speaking, weak child. If you can defeat me, perhaps Brittu will listen to your claim. Okay. So it looks like we got some dread going on, which is understandable. I'm going to triple up. Nope. Okay. Is everyone all right? You see now our strength. We are not to be trifled with, Mjolnir. Ha 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 ha! You cannot defeat me. Have you had enough, Mjolnir? Your honor is gone, and only my chieftain can return it to you. That remains to be seen, Mournblood. The Dunedain and their allies will not be cowed by the likes of you, Oathbreaker. I desist, Dunedain, for now. You fight passing well for a child. Britu will want to speak with you. Britu always wants to speak with those who brave this road. Keep the chasm on your right and you will find him. Keep the chasm on your right and you will find Britu. It was unwise of you to come here, warm bloods. Oh, plural, I'm by myself, man. This is a constant reminder of my lonely existence. This place belongs to the dead who do not rest, and all your kind who stray here perish. All who stray here belong to the dead. You came to this place to escape your curse, Britu, and you brought these men with you. But there was no escape, and you will never know the peace of death until you fulfill your oath. I will consider what you have to say. This seems to me a good sign, Black Lodge. If the Oathbreakers will fulfill their oath to Isildur, we will command an army the like of which has never been seen in Middle-earth. Surely victory will not be far behind. Nope. Again, as always, when you're buffed up, it's not really a challenge. Witness the strength of the Dunedain and their allies. Yes, I am filled with the fear of you. Perhaps these others will do. Britu, enough of this. We need prove nothing to you. I think you do. More of the same. I really thought it was like, now I'm going to bring the pain. And it was like, no. Round 4. We did not come here to entertain your careless whims, Oathbreaker. And yet, you do so most admirably. Come, my kin, slay them. I got my gambit backwards, so let's try this again. End this, Britu. I command you to end this. I need not listen to your commands, warm blood. Jesus. Okay. I have the authority to command you and all your kind, Bertu. For I am the heir of Isildur. Ooh. Playing a big hand there. What evidence do you have that this be so? Only this, the ring of Barahir, heirloom of Isildur's line. I see. We will fulfill our oath at last, that the heir may lift the curse. Tell your men. But that is not the ring of Barahir, and you are not the heir of Isildur. You are betrayed. You must escape the Forsaken Road. Now you die. I was about to say, when big bluff there didn't work. Turns out we've got a forgery, though. Which I think, maybe I knew that. Maybe, like, that's what we were having the dwarf make copies to... You can never defeat me. That is my labor and my curse. Alright, let's get out of here. Radnir, we gotta go. What has happened? All of a sudden, the Oathbreakers fell upon us, and we have only driven them off for the moment. We have to get out of here. Where's Candaith? I've not seen him yet. Oh, I've got bad news. Stop. We have to wait for Candaith. He has not yet come this way. No, actually, on second thought, forget it. We're out of here. Is that champion, I guess? Yeah, because he's got a... Well, good news, bad news. The bad news is that people are dead and the plan's totally shot. Oh, the good news... Yeah, no, sorry, there is none.
We knew there would be hardship on our road, but to happen so soon.
I did not think it would happen so soon, of course.
Go to Coronir and tell him we are done with Sudrugund and done with Nar.
It's time we made ready to leave once again, and I want every ranger ready to depart. We've lost too many of our number to foolish detours. Enough. Go to Sudrugund and tell Coronir that it is done. We ride at first light. I do not care what Nar may know, or of what Urgathorn was afraid, or of what that's what I mean with the clumsy, or of what Urgathorn was afraid. I thought we could attain some secret, some new wisdom that would be of use to Aragorn when we come to at last to him in Rohan. But I was wrong. There is no secret weapon, no easy victory. Go to Coronir and tell him we are done with Sudrugund and we are done with Nar. So what I was gonna say before I saw how things turned out on the whatever that road was, Forgotten Road, Forsaken Road, that if it had worked, I think I would have been like, because then it sort of undercuts, what Aragorn actually does in the story, right? Like if he, like the gamble of going to the Oathbreakers and commanding them as the heir of Isildur, blah, blah, blah. if part of the quest chain here was to make sure it worked, it seems pretty low stakes. And so I'm kind of glad that in whatever way it played out, it did not play out in confirming it feels like it would be like if like a political leader wanted to have like a publicity event and somebody on the on the advanced team sort of made sure everything was rigged in just the right way so that when the public figure did the thing, he came off or she came off looking extra strong and extra tough. And had it worked, that would be the vibe I'd be getting. But it did not, and one of the team was left behind, so I guess hooray? Not that it matters, I keep an eye on, because I'm a goddamn professional, I keep my eye on my levels when I'm doing this, mainly to make sure that I have not left my mic muted, because I'm a professional, as I just said. And I gotta say, the audio in this game, in particular the music, is all over the place. There are times when, like say in combat, like right now, the audio it's getting a little higher than I would like. Other times it's right in the sweet spot. Like I never know quite how to balance this particular game. Isn't that where it just came? Again, I'm getting confounded here. This is interesting. I like the idea of this. We're just like, look, I thought we could do something and it's not going to work. And it's better to cut bait. And, sometimes you just got to charge into the unknown. You got to stick to the mission. And, it might not be our job to overthink it. Where strayed the rest of the people who lived here?
I will follow Halberod's orders, but I will not leave until I have some answers.
After the disaster of the Forsaken Road, I strode through the comb and collected the ingredients for the strange-smelling brew. Kibbalooz, Nijamujju, and Holwil... I'm not sticking the landing on any of those, so why am I bothering? Frithgear did not want to, but at the end I gave him no choice, and he has brewed the drink and given it to Nar. Hurry. Go now to Nar and ask him once again how he knows of the Oathbreakers, and ask him how he knows the words of Elrond concerning the paths of the dead. Ask him why my friends are dead. Go, Black Lodge. We will leave Zudragund, but first I want to know why all of this had to happen.
I did not know the words of Elrond were a secret. My friend knew of them.
And spoke at length concerning the futility of traversing the paths of the dead. Nar breathes deeply of the strange-smelling brew, and he smiles quizzically at you. He sees much that perhaps should have remained hidden. It's true, but when he speaks of a thing, I confess it seems foolhardy to disagree or debate with him on it. He has a curious way about him, this friend I met in the mines. I thought it strange to see him there, but he has said Herluf brought him down. Nar's brow creases in thought. But that's odd. Herluf went south to Zigil Jabal and hasn't been here for years. I wonder when he let my friend into the mines. He can't have.
Why, Saruman the White, of course. I thought you knew.
Alright, so that's who we met in the mines. Nar does not seem to notice your shocked expression. He has long been a friend of my family, of course. He is the very wisest of the wise, it is said, and I agree. Nar finally seems to notice your shocked expression, and as you hastily explain Saruman's treachery, Nar waves his hand impatiently. There must have been some mistake. Saruman has always been a friend to the dwarves, and through the long years he has told us of a great deal that would otherwise remain hidden. The wizard has not betrayed us. There must have been some mistake. You seem to think I have done something wrong, but I can tell you I certainly have not.
He was very interested in the Rangers, of course.
So what did you tell him? Very interested in the Rangers, and in the Dunlandings who live nearby. He wanted any maps of cave systems and dwarf mines I could bring him from the library. He said he was trying to protect the Dunlandings from a massive gathering of Uruks, and so he was. You saw the group that attacked us here. Oh, Nar.
He never spoke of anyone called Ergothorn to me.
So, of course, did he say anything about Ergothorn? He did speak occasionally of someone doing his work in the lands of Enedwaith, Dunland, and Rohan, but whether he was talking about the same person or more than one was never clear to me. It is not the place of a dwarf to question a wizard. Brass tacks. Let's get to the quest. The distant expression that Nar usually wears has been replaced with a shrewd glare. He is still under the effect of the strange-smelling brew, but that clarity may not last long. Okay, I mean, I kind of appreciate that, where, like, you don't have to read the long bits if you want to just blow through and, like, click through the quest.
I cannot believe this. We've played right into Saruman's hands.
That traitor Saruman has been influencing our errands without our knowledge, and we have played right into his hands. This stage of our journey, this investigation into the mystery posed by Nar, is over. Halberod is right. The next stage of our journey will take us south into Dunland, likely toward war and danger, right beneath the shadow of our enemy. But it does not matter. What matters is that we journey. For good or ill, the Great Company will continue on its road. This detour means our enemy knows we are coming. We must hope he does not know why, but if he does, perhaps that knowledge will cause him to make a mistake, to make some error he will regret. Our friends have perished. Our hope for the future must not die with them. The Great Company will ride again, and soon. You will come with us, if you still wish to. I would not blame you for changing your mind, for the road will be hard. Okay, I'm going to choose one. Gloves, what do we got going for gloves? 180, 164. These are actually worse. So I'm going to go with the gloves.
It is true. We don't know what we will find as we ride south. I look out over these lone lands and wonder what will happen to them when we have gone. But this is something we must do. Each of us has sworn an oath to Aragorn our chieftain, and none of us will break that oath. We know the risks. None of us would join the Grey Company if we felt its errand was not important enough to brave those risks. For my part, I will not give in to fear of the unknown. We all have our role to play, and I hope only that when I have played mine, the world will have been better for my having been in it.
All right, and boom. There's a chance that that's it. There is an air of mystery about this place. I do not know what to make of it. Yeah.
Delayed too long already. I am ready to go.
There we go. We have finished Volume 3, Book 3. Overall, I will say I liked it. Again, I like the idea of this place. I like the idea of Nar. We've got some, plot twists where Saruman was playing us like a puppet master all along and forcing us to make moves to make mistakes. And now we're like, no, we're done. We're done, dancing to his tune, so to speak, and we're out of here. We got a mission to do, and we have to do it at all costs. So, yeah, I continue to really enjoy the story, and having no recollection of what comes next, I'm curious to see where it goes. I mean, I assume we're going to go to Dunland. I assume we're heading here eventually. Oh, Isengard's right there, so I assume we're going to be getting some looks at that for the first official time. I can't recall if I went to Isengard in the third session when I did a quick, tourist tour around Middle-earth just to say goodbye, thinking that was where I was going to stop. Haha, foolish me. But yeah, so I think we're going to be heading down here pretty soon. Did we really... I mean, I guess we sort of did a bunch here. I was like, does all of this look familiar? Like this lake down here in the southeast, did we really do much there? I don't know. But those roads come from Dunland, so maybe something else will come from that. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, I really like, because again, I say this a lot, like the idea that the past is sort of like the power of Middle-earth. And when you have a library like this, this could be a potential source for that kind of power. And so I really like the idea of this sort of lost library, dwarven library, cut into the side of a nondescript mountainside. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next in Book 4, and we'll get back to that hopefully in short time. So thanks again to everybody who checked this out. If you're watching this, obviously you've found us here on YouTube, and like and subscribe if this is your thing. We're mainly a tabletop actual play podcast. We have audio versions of that to go along with the video. The audio versions can be found if you search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your podcasts, and we should show up. At the time of this recording, I can say that this is going to come out way after I record it, but I think there's going to be some capital R, real capital L life happening for a little bit, so we're going to see how it's going. Some good, some bad, and we're going to try and keep the rotation schedule as best we can. Or we might have to skip a few, or it might have to be... man, I feel sad just saying this. It might be me doing more solo stuff, so God, even I'm getting sick of me. All right, so thanks again to everybody who checks this out, and we all really appreciate it, and we'll be back soon. Take care.